Welcome to the deep dive. We plunge into the latest research, cut through the noise, and bring you the insights that really matter. Today, we're diving into sleep. Now, you probably think you know what good sleep means. Usually, we just count the hours, don't we? Get your 8 hours in. But what if there's a new understanding, something that really challenges that whole idea?
That's exactly it. That's our mission today. We're going to unpack a major international study. It was published in Health Data Science, and what makes it, well, pretty revolutionary is that it relies on objective data, not just what people say they do.
Objective data, okay?
And the core finding here, it looks like sleep regularity might be way more critical for your long-term health than we previously thought.
Yeah.
Much more than just the hours.
Right. And for you listening, maybe you want the key info without wading through dense studies. We promise we'll deliver the absolute core insights from this huge study. We're talking nearly 90,000 people involved. So yeah, let's dive in. What did they actually find? Okay, so this study, you said huge. How huge are we talking?
We're talking 88,461 adults, pulled from the UK Biobank.
Wow.
But here's the really crucial part, I think. They didn't just, hand out surveys. They used actigraphy.
Actigraphy.
Right.
It's like a wearable device. Right. It tracks actual movement, actual sleep.
Exactly. Objective measurement, it knows if you're asleep or just lying there. Big difference from self-reporting.
Okay, that is a big difference. And how long did they track them?
For a good while.
Yeah.
On average, almost 7 years. 6.8 years, to be precise.
So this is proper long-term science.
It is. And the researchers, they were from Peking University and Army Medical University. What they found were these really strong links between consistent sleep routines.
Going to bed at the same time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, stable bedtimes, consistent circadian rhythms, basically keeping your body clock happy. Strong links between that and the risk of developing a staggering number of diseases.
How many are we talking?
Get this. They found connections between these sleep patterns and 172 different diseases.
172, that's kind of unbelievable. Across the board, or specific areas.
It was incredibly broad. The impact was seen across many different body systems. And the general impact is pretty profound. For 92 of those 172 diseases,
Okay.
poor sleep habits, measured objectively, contributed to more than 20% of the risk.
20%. So this isn't just feeling tired the next day. This is like actual disease risk increasing significantly.
Precisely. Real measurable impact on your physical health.
So when you say poor sleep habits in this context, what exactly were they measuring? What were the specific things that mattered?
Good question. They looked at several different aspects of sleep, but two key ones that really stood out were interdaily stability.
Which means?
Basically how consistent your sleep-wake cycle is from one day to the next. Is it stable or is it all over the place?
Yeah.
Disrupted.
Okay. Like social jet lag, maybe?
But,
Weekends versus weekdays?
it sort of captures that, yeah. And the other big one was nocturnal sleep onset timing.
Just bedtime.
Pretty much. When you actually fall asleep at night.
And the findings on those specific things, you said they were eye-opening. Give us an example.
All right, so take bedtime. Going to bed after 12:30 a.m., which the study flagged as irregular.
Okay, 12:30 a.m.
That was associated with a 2.57 times greater risk of developing liver cirrhosis.
Liver cirrhosis from going to bed late. That seems unexpected. Usually you think diet, alcohol.
Exactly. That's what makes it so striking.
Right.
Seeing such a strong link, objectively measured, to just when you go to bed,
Yeah.
it really shows how deep the effects of sleep timing go.
Wow. Okay. What about the other one, the interdaily stability?
That one was linked to some serious issues too. Low stability. So a really inconsistent sleep-wake pattern was linked to a 2.61 times higher risk of gangrene.
Gangrene. Seriously. These are not trivial things.
Not at all. The impact is profound. It
Yeah.
really drives home that messing with your body clock isn't just about feeling off your game.
So this study mapped out all these different sleep traits. You mentioned duration, bedtime, stability, efficiency, even waking up.
Waking numbers, relative amplitude, a whole suite of objective measures.
And link them to diseases basically everywhere in the body.
That's a good way to put it. It was incredibly comprehensive.
It really makes you pause before, starting another episode on Netflix at midnight.
It absolutely should. And just to kind of quantify the overall impact, for those 172 diseases they identified, on average, 23%, nearly a quarter of the disease burden, could be attributed back to these sleep traits.
A quarter of the burden. That's huge. It really underlines how important sleep is, maybe more than we realized.
I think underestimated is the right word, especially the regularity aspect.
Okay, let's talk about something else here. This idea of sleeping too long. You hear it sometimes, right? That sleeping, say, 9 or 10 hours is bad for you. Linked to stroke, heart problems, often based on people just saying they sleep a lot.
Right, that's a common belief, and it largely came from studies relying on subjective, self-reported data. But this is where the objective data from this study really flips the script.
How so?
Well, they found that objective long sleep, meaning someone actually sleeping 9 or more hours, measured by actigraphy, was associated with only one disease, not the whole list we previously thought.
Only one. That's a massive difference from what people thought.
It is. It really challenges that narrative about long sleep being inherently dangerous.
So why the disconnect? If the objective data says long sleep isn't the big problem, why did all those earlier studies suggest it was? What was going on?
This is fascinating. This study found something quite revealing. Get this. Almost 22%, 21.67%, specifically of the people who said they were long sleepers, when measured objectively, were actually sleeping less than 6 hours.
Less than 6. So they thought they were sleeping long, but they weren't even getting close to the standard amount.
Exactly. It highlights this massive difference between time spent in bed versus actual sleep time.
Ah, okay. So you could be in bed for 9 hours, but tossing, turning, maybe on your phone, not actually sleeping effectively.
Precisely. It's not the same thing biologically.
Yeah.
Professor Xingfeng Wang, one of the senior authors, summed it up perfectly. He said, our findings underscore the overlooked importance of sleep regularity. It's time we broaden our definition of good sleep beyond just duration.
Beyond just duration. That seems to be the key takeaway here. So bringing this back to you, the listener, what does all this actually mean for your daily life? It sounds like it's not just about hitting, say, 7 or 8 hours. It's really about the when and the how consistently.
That's the core message. Consistency seems paramount. And the researchers are starting to figure out the why as well. They identified inflammatory pathways as a potential biological link, a possible mechanism connecting that irregular sleep to disease development.
Interesting. So inflammation might be part of how inconsistent sleep actually damages the body over time.
It's a leading hypothesis they're exploring. It gives us clues about the biological nuts and bolts.
And this is still early days in some ways, right? Understanding the full picture.
Absolutely. This study is huge, but it opens doors. They did confirm some associations in U.S. populations too, which adds weight. But future research needs to look more closely at causality. Does irregular sleep cause these diseases, or is it just strongly linked?
Right. Correlation versus causation.
And also, crucially, testing interventions. If we help people regulate their sleep, can we actually reduce their risk of chronic disease? That's the next big step.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows that good sleep is maybe more complex than we thought. It's not just quantity. Consistency, regularity, respecting your body's natural clock seems absolutely critical.
It does. And just knowing this, understanding this connection can be really empowering, don't you think? It gives you a different lens through which to view your own habits.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe a final thought for you listening. Knowing how vital sleep regularity seems to be, what's one small, consistent change you could maybe make? Even just aiming for a more stable bedtime, maybe even trying it on the weekends too. Could that small shift have a really profound long-term payoff for your health? What part of this new perspective on sleep really stands out to you? Something to think about.